They were shocking my body using electrical shock. And they even forcefully made me to swallow my feces.
Robben Island was not at the top of my list of things to do in Cape Town, but we ended up going there anyway. I enjoyed it thoroughly. The history was really amazing, especially that the people that were narrating the stories were actual former prisoners of Robben Island. Come with us and enjoy our day at Robben Island.
Is the place of destination.
Hi honey, where are you going?
I'm going to Robben Island.
What mountain is that?
Table Mountain.
Table.
It feels like a dream come true today. Destination this morning.
You've been so excited about it lately.
Very excited.
But
But excitement is an understatement. I'm very exuberant. I'm jubilant.
whatever that means.
Yeah. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, I hope so.
Last time I was on.
You don't remember the last? You don't remember the last time you were at Robben Island?
No, not Robben Island. Not Robben Island. I was traveling by sheep, right? So I think it was back in 2020. Yeah.
Are you up to?
Robben Island.
which you can use to attach yourself to another person. Please, put on your life jacket first before assisting any other person. Sandy.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Robben Island Museum of World Heritage Site, I would like to welcome you to the island. Please proceed to the buses. Please proceed to the buses. Parked at the far end of the quay will be met by your tour guide. Please proceed.
The boat is called Diaz. That is a prison boat. We were kept right under, handcuffs and chained, completely dark and seasick, as it was our first time traveling by the boat. The harbor, when it disembarked, that harbor, it looked very nice today. It was a horrible harbor. When we disembarked there, we were then chained 2 by 2, and there were no buses, there were no cars, it was only the trucks. And then from the harbor, we walked with the guards, including their dogs, right up until to the main entrance. I couldn't take you to the main entrance because of some challenges. There are steps there, of which I can't go to the steps. And then the big gate, that is a gate that we use as prisoners when you go out for labor and when you come back from labor. We, the rank and file, we work on the northern side. And then Nelson Mandela, they used to work on the quarry that you are going to see. But you must know that there are 3 quarries on Robben Island. Is a lime quarry, is a bluestone quarry, and the stone quarry. The bluestone quarry is on the northern side. And when you look at this building, the building is gray or is blue or gray. The stone that built the prison come from the bluestone quarry. They are Kafirs, and to them we were just like cannibals. And then on Robben Island, you must know that all the guards from 1964 to 1991, they were all white and they were all Afrikaners speaking personnel. And physically torture, it used to happen. And then what happened in one of the political prisoners, Johnson Mlambo, they make him to dig the hole. When the hole was big enough, they said to him, "You pratifeer." That means you talk too much. You must go in that hole. Johnson refused. However, Johnson was overpowered. They pushed him in. They covered the whole body with the sand. Only the head and the neck was above the sand. And then Pete Klein Hans, a prison guard, and he said to him, "You black kafir, I know that you are very thirsty. I am going to give you a double shot of the whiskey." He then walked slowly to him, opened up his zip, and then urinated in his face. And then after he completed his urine, then they pull him out to go and eat lunch with other prisoners. And then Johnson refused. Johnson was very upset. And the matter was reported, the matter was covered up. And then John Pete Cleanhouse is still around. Johnson Mlambo, unfortunately, He passed away last year. He was going to tell you a real thing happened. And it's very important that they shambok us. They beat us. They want to break us. But the important thing is they've made a very big mistake. They bring us together. So we become very strong. We took the pain. We take the pain. And the most thing that I can say it was torturing us was psychologically torture. You can beat me, but psychologically you can go to me. That is why some prisoners here, they fell on the trap. They promise, if you tell us what these prisoners are doing, you are going to be getting released early and you get a lot of money. You do that, people outside are very intelligent. You get out of prison, people will ask you, you were sentenced to 20 years, but why are you here now? And then the information will come to us, then we will tell people, well, that means he was a sellout. So, understand African language. And he just said, in your dreams. And then I look at him, and I say, hey, comrade, what is man saying? Ladies and gentlemen, 1991, he came and said, you are going to be released, you need to prepare your things. Then I said, Sergeant Foster, sorry, I'm going to go to Table Mountain. And he just looked at me. And I want to tell you, my dreams did come true. I did when he took me to Table Mountain. I didn't know that thing is so high. But I just kept quiet. And they took me to the small house. And they looked through the telescope. They showed me Robben Island. I said, please don't show me Robben Island. So shift it on the other side. Any question? We were kept in Kronstadt, and there were white male political prisoners, and they were kept in Pretoria under the very good conditions. On Robben Island, ladies and gentlemen, behind you, there is a sporting field. That's what I call it. But before, it was a prison. The prison that was divided into two sections and built by zinc. And there was a black section, colored and Indian section. But when everything was completed to be built, everything was broken down. And then on Robben Island, we requested to play sports. And they said, it is a privilege, we are not allowed. But we begged them, and they said, where are you going to play? We showed them the field. We will play that. And then they allow us to build the field. That's where we play singing. We do singing there in the big field. And we were toying and we were dancing. And then head of the prison, he came to find out what's going on. We just said to him, check channel 2 in your TV. And he noticed that Mandela is getting released. And then he came back and said, what time do you want to come to be locked in today? Everybody just say 6 o'clock. 11th of February 1990, they lock us at 6 o'clock. We had many comrades were talking, discussing, and I remember saying that I am not going to come back here. But unfortunately, I am here. So you are now going to go inside the cell, We will just have a few sitting and talking to you, and then move again to Mandela section. So let's go inside. Outside, you are going to eat so-called breakfast. And then the breakfast was a porridge, but they are going to say, this is the pot of colored Indians, this is the pot of black prisoners. And then porridge was the same, but what was different is the sugar. Black prisoners, you get lesser sugar, while colored and Indian prisoners, they'll get more sugar. And then even at lunch, black prisoners, you are going to drink substance called puzamanda. It's a powder that mixes in water. When you drink it, it tastes sour. You can even say energy drink, although it never gave us energy. And then colored Indians, they were given a quarter loaf of brown bread with a jam and margarine. And then on the midday, black prisoners, you'll have five ounce, while colored Indians, they'll get 6 ounces. So everything here was discriminatory. And the prisoners did die on Robben Island, not because of beating, but because of illness. And then our leaders, particularly Nelson Mandela, he said, comrades, we are going to die one by one. Something must be done. And then collectively, they said, Nelson, you are going to be our spokesperson. Indeed, Nelson Mandela started to approach them, where Mandela said to them, give us bed, give us one blanket, give us one prison cloth. And they said to Mandela, listen, you are not allowed to speak for other prisoners. You must speak for yourself. And Mandela said, no, we. And then when he came back from the quarry, James Gregory, who was a prison guard, he was waiting for Mandela. And he called him. He gave him long pants, socks, and shoes. And then Mandela said, no. Did you give it to everyone? He said, no. And Mandela said to him, take it back. I don't need it. And he even said, Mandela, there is a bed in your cell. The prison doctor has prescribed you a bed because you've got terrible backache. And Mandela said, I'm not going to sleep in that bed if you don't give it to one of us. And he slept, Mandela slept on the mat, just like everyone. And then, collectively, they wrote a very detailed letter. That letter was smuggled out. It went all over the world. Then there was intervention of Helen Suzman. Helen Suzman, white South African lady, and a member of parliament. She personally came to Robben Island to want to see conditions, and she met Mandela in prison. And then when she went back, she reported about Robben Island. Then United Nations, Amnesty International, and International of the Red Cross, they intervened. And the delegation of the Red Cross were even given a permission to come to visit Robben Island. When the delegation were here, they were even accompanied by doctors. And those doctors, they checked everyone. And they found out, indeed, prisoners are very sick. They even said, no one must be sleeping on the mat. Prisoners must be given a bed. And for the first time, the beds arrived after 14 years. As you see those beds, in the big cell, one is on top, one at the bottom. And then in the one single ward, in the single cell is only a single bed. And then in this room, when the Brits arrived, some of the prisoners were taken to another section because here can fit only 46 prisoners. Even the prison clothes were changed. Everybody, irrespective of what race you are, were given long pants, socks and shoes. And then conditions started to change gradually. As the Red Cross, they make undertaking that every year they will come to Robben Island. And they did so up until a last prisoner was released. And then on Robben Island, again Nelson Mandela, he said, well, comrades, we are future government, but we can't govern the country with uneducated people. We must study. Then there was a challenge. People didn't want to study, but the leadership gave direction that we must study. Financially, there was no money. Our families, they couldn't even afford. But there was an organization that is called SAPET. That organization, they were responsible in organizing funds for all political prisoners in South Africa. And then that's how we studied. And we corresponded with Dumbarton College, Wits University, and the UNISA. Nelson Mandela, he wanted to correspond with Oxford University. They denied. They said it's not allowed because that is a foreign country. And on Robben Island, any textbook that a prisoner is going to receive, it was thoroughly checked. And if they said there is a politics here in the book, they are not going to give it to you. You must go to their office and do some few pages and come back here. They even said to us, we are not allowed to help one another. But they were very stupid because they are not yet at night. So we used to help one another. Our slogan, each one teach one. And when they come and switch off the lights, the bathroom was always on. The lights were always on. And then on Robben Island, we prisoners, we utilize bathrooms as part of our study rooms. And you go there as a group with your teachers. And then on Robben Island, I can tell you, we have produced 3 presidents of South Africa. The first one, Nelson Mandela. The second one, Kgalema Motlanthe. And the third one, Jacob Zuma. And the 20% of our ministers, they come from Robben Island. And the man, the youngest one, 16 years old, was sentenced to 20 years. The Kgalema Senator. In Mandela dispensation, he became one of the highest judge in the land. So Robben Island, whether you like it or not, it was one of the best university in our country. And in this prison, we receive letters from our friends, families, and loved ones. Those letters are going to be heavily censored. They cut them into pieces, they scratch them with the black ink, or they just remove the whole content, only the salutation and then ending. And we used to say, Those are the window letters. And then on Robben Island, we were allowed, as you can see, we were allowed to write. When you write a letter, don't mention bad conditions, because that letter, it won't be posted. Say something like you study, you pass exams, everything is okay, then you make sure that the letter goes to your family. And then, even the visit, you don't just come. You need to apply. And then center office, they are going to take that application and informed security police. Security police are those who arrest us and torture us and take us to court. Even when we were here, they were still investigating us. And then that person who want to come to visit is going to be investigated, or they can eliminate the whole people in your family, as they did to my family. One of the wardens, Sergeant Montgomery, he came to tell me that Saturday morning I'm going to have a visit. I was I said thank you. I didn't show my happiness. On Saturday morning, when they collect us to take us to the visitors block, we passed their office and Sergeant Smith was waiting there. They called me, they took me inside the office, they closed the door, and Sergeant Adam just said to me, "We have received the telegram, your visitor is no longer coming, and your father has been shot 8 times. Go back to your section." I was very, very devastated, and I was very angry. I came back here, I went straight to my bed. Everyone wanted to know what's going on. I break the news. And my human rights lawyer, Krish Naidu, he confirmed what happened to my dad. And the people who shot my dad are the same guys who severely tortured me in the torture chamber. In that torture chamber, they break my ribs. They made me to be partially deaf on my left ear. They were shocking my body using electrical shock. And they even forcefully made me to swallow my feces. And those guys, they appeared in the Truth and Reconciliation Commission in front of Bishop Tutu and Dr. Borain. In the Truth and Reconciliation, all of them received blanket amnesty. Today, they are running companies, mostly security companies. To them, it was a well-done job. Apartheid government gave them a very good golden handshake. To us, a very severe pain. That's why Mandela said, "Comrades, apartheid is a violent system. In this prison, we'll never lose hope. We'll always together. Different political organization, but we were so united. These intercoms, they are all over the prison. They've got listening device. When we sing, they can hear. When we speak, they can hear. But what we did, we have made small boxes that can fit these intercoms. So when we start our programs, we will close it so that they can't hear us. And but when they realize cell number 1 or cell number 3, they can't hear it, they will come to check. So when they come, we just remove everything, act as if nothing was happening. And then behind me is a bathroom where we wash twice a day, in the morning and in the afternoon. But the water here was a very salty water. And after washing, your skin is going to be itching and you have to rub it against the wall. The glass windows, they were always there, all the time. Even the color of the cell, that's how the color was. And those boxes that you see, we used to keep our toothbrush and soap and put your cigarettes. And on top of those boxes, there we put our Bibles, because some comrades took a Bible lesson. That is why today they are archbishops. Any questions? So combat cell, there can be 50 or 60 prisoners that used to be kept here. And then from 1964 up until 1979, prisoners were not allowed to sleep in bed. Prisoners were given the mat. That is the mat that was used, and they give you 3 blankets. Even those blankets were very thin. Even the prison clothes were not the same. As I've said to you, the black prisoners, like Mandela, black prisoners were given short khaki pants, sandals, short sleeve shirt, and the jersey, not a very good warm-up one. While colored and Indians, they were given long pants, socks and shoes, and a very good warm-up jersey for the rest of the winter. In this room, 60 prisoners. To change the side, what you do, you give one an elbow, and then now it's time to turn. Everyone will do the same. And then 4 a.m., they come and put on the lights. When you switch on the lights, everybody means must wake up, you must roll your mat, and then fold your blanket, and you keep it against the wall. And then 7 o'clock, everybody standing against the wall with your prison card. See the card on the wall are that's your fingerprint. Those are the cards that you carry. And then when you finish counting you, sorry? Is the section that our leaders, they were kept. is called B section. They will make sure that they don't go to any other section. They were kept here all the time. They can only go out here when they go and do their labor. They used to work in the lime quarry. On top of that, the prison warders were patrolling, having those heavy guns. And then the doors was always closed. And the wall was built to make sure that they are completely isolated. The windows that you see on top there, that is a sensor office. When you are in that office, there is a trap door that they can go inside and walk inside to want to hear what they are doing. And then the glass windows, they were there too. This courtyard, they were part of exercise courtyard. So where they walk around, running around, doing push-ups. Nelson Mandela, a former boxer, he used a lot of push-ups. One morning, he did more than 40 push-ups that day. And they came down to say to him, according to the prison regulations, you are not allowed to do more than 40 push-ups per day. And Mandela said to them, please show me the act that says so. They never show it. They never show him the act. He never stopped doing push-ups. And in this particular section, there were even a spy, the man that was spying on them. And then that man's name was Raymond Nyanda. And the Raymond was discovered that he's a spy, and they started to isolate him. He gets so frustrated that the head of the prison came here and said, Raymond, your appeal has been successfully. You are free to go. He left Robben Island, and then after 3 months, Nelson Mandela received information that Raymond has been assassinated. And on Robben Island, Nelson Mandela, he even requested to have a garden. Behind me is Nelson Mandela's garden, where he even planted the grape plant, the grape tree that you see, planted by Nelson. And the garden was very beautiful. At the same time, he used the garden to bury his manuscript. And today, you can buy yourself a book, The Long Walk to Freedom. And that book will explain to you how things were happening here. You're the same man that made this country where it is today. Because he made one preaching, let us negotiate. Let us stop using arms. Let us negotiate. And indeed, he was listened to. F.W. de Klerk, when he came into power, and he worked very close with Mandela. To such an extent, then there was a condition that was given to the regime. The condition was released all political prisoners in South Africa. Allow people coming from exile without any prosecution. We can then start meaningful negotiations. And the second release, it was 1990. Mandela got released. He was in Victor Verster. And the third release, 1991. I was among those last prisoners who got released 1991. So 95% we never completed our sentence. So I came here without a belly. I was very thin, I was very young, and then I grew up in prison. So you are going to see Mandela's cell is on your right hand side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cell number 4, that is a cell of because you must remember, in South Africa, we, the black majority of this country, we were forcefully removed in our land. And then they take us to the place, a scholar place. They confiscated our livestock. They even gave us just education, just to understand your master's language. And constantly under harassment by the regime. You are concentrating, they came with a van, tear gas and dogs. And some of your schoolmates disappear without trace. And then said, no, this is too much. We joined, that's up leading me to join the ANC. I was a very young, angry young person, but in my training, they changed my perception. And I was even told, your enemy can be your sister or your brother, not a white person. And then we were told, it's not to kill, you need to make a statement. And that changed me. And honestly, they can tell you, if I wanted to eliminate them, I would have blew them without them knowing. But we make them, we give them the warning. They evacuate. Even you go and read my case, they'll tell you that I informed them before everything happened. So that leader, we were not allowed to vote in our own land, in our own country. We were not allowed to vote. Where can you see that? Not even represented in this parliament. The only things happen now. 1994, 27th of April, that was the first time after 365 years, we, the black majority, we started to vote. It was so nice, you know. I looked at the paper, I looked like this. I say, hey, there are so many of them. Where's Mandela's face? It was very exciting. And it was peaceful. No bombs, no guns, everything was peaceful. In May, then Mandela was elected the president. That man, he only stood one term. Hey, comrades, are you going to stand the second term? Say no, one term. The young one must come in or must take over. Can you see that man?
Yeah.
What's the time before? They try to assassinate him. They took him out of the jail to go and see the doctor. In the car, Mandela was not in cuffs. There was no chain. The warders who was escorting him, they drove the car and stopped at the total garage and leave Mandela unattended. Mandela said, hey, he can open the door. And then he said, look, hey man, I can run away. But he decided not to do so. And then later, the information came was, they wanted you to run and shot you. There was a sniper that was waiting for you. And the man who was given the task, he became Nelson Mandela's bodyguard. That's how a man is. That man, when he speaks to you, he always shake your hand. What's your name? Where are you from? Huh? And he had everything in his mind. He never said, hey comrades, we are sentenced to 20 years. No. He always said, you must prepare yourself. We are going to govern.
Wow.
And it's true. It happened. So, you came on the right time. Remember that day, April in South Africa is a freedom month.
Yeah.
So the 27th of April, that's what things were happening. You are going to go to the bus. I am not going to be there. Someone is going to talk to you in the bus. But on my side, I want to say thank you very much. And then please, let us make sure whatever happened to us, it must never, ever happen to our future generation. No more apartheid. We need to work hard to build a house. Thank you.
Each year on the 14th of February, on the Valentine's Day, Robben Island hosts weddings. John Craig was Scottish civil engineer during the war. He built the Holy Builder Harbour and other structures around the village. Coming up to your right hand side, building built in 1846 used to be the hospital ward for chronic sick people. It was the library and the artillery school during Second World. Transport fresh water from Cape Town, over 50,000 liters of fresh water from Cape Town. They had 7 boreholes of brackish or salty water. 1998, they introduced the desalination plant, which is pumping seawater and convert it. On the left, the commissioner's house. It was the superintendent's house during present time, and is the conference center. It has conference facilities. Because it's on the right, were built during present time. Houses at the back there on top were built during Second World War. Place in front. Is there anyone who participated in the 2 oceans of marathon? Nobody today. No, it's okay. I just wanted to check. This is our halfway stop. You may alight from the bus, spend about 5 minutes taking pictures, restroom facilities over there. There's a photo frame over there, ladies and gentlemen. Please keep to the photo frame. Don't walk beyond it over the road or on the
Just a quick video. Just a quick video. Just a video. Thank you.
It's already on.
Yeah.
Yay! Yes.
Is that going on TikTok?
Can you make a photo of us?
Yeah, definitely.
this in real life, not on TV.
Please ensure that